Excellent. So the COBIS GSL World Catalyst is a program that we deliver in partnership with COBIS, and it's exclusively available just for students attending COBIS schools. And the program is part of the wider vision of global social leaders, a vision where a world led by a global movement of socially conscious leaders. So the GSL movement has been on the market, has been drumming for social change for close to a decade now, and it all started by two organizations coming together. So Future Foundations and Wellington Leadership, a Coaching and Leadership Institute came together and run their first program close to 10 years ago. And that was quite a special moment because it really started very small. It started from Wellington being asked if they could run a leadership program for a school in Singapore. And then John from Future Foundations and Katie from Wellington Coaching Institute had a meal together, had a lovely curry, and discussed plans about inviting other schools to join and make it more of a global movement. And that's how it started, and it actually grew organically ever since. And I will pass on to Jay to tell you a little bit more about that.
So the GSL movement has grown organically over the last decade, and even more recently through our Global Goals competition, which is now really popular all over the world. And so much so that it's gained international recognition from people like the Secretary General of the United Nations. So you can see that we have a lovely endorsement here from Ban Ki-moon. And that's all through the great work of the young people who have been on our programs. Should we move on to the next slide? So I just want to give you, to begin with, an overview of what this program consists of, and then I will dive a little bit deeper on each of the different aspects in a moment. But the initial part of the program kicks off with the 3-day virtual catalyst. So that's the workshop part of the program. It is for COBIS schools only, and that enables each of the young students to interact with each other from different COBIS schools. The program is for young people only and not teachers. And once the weekend is over, the very next day, they get some communication from us here in the GSL team to go away and undertake a social action project over a period of 30 days. And that is linked to what some of the items that they cover in the 3-day virtual workshop. And once that period is completed and they've carried out some project that they feel very passionate about, we all come together again for a celebration graduation event, which is on the 16th of December. And at that point, we acknowledge all the participants for not only being on the workshop, but if they have completed a challenge, they will get certificates. So let's move on to the next slide. And here's some feedback from one of our recent participants. And you'll notice that we've highlighted some key aspects, and this is what we try to really encourage through our program, and that is helping to develop not only leadership skills, but skills for the future, and really importantly, providing an opportunity for the young people to mix with others from diverse cultures. And we live in challenging times, so to prepare the young people for an unknown future, we map all of our programs and design them to help young people develop transformative competencies together with a path to well-being. And we use some of these concepts that you see here on this slide to inform us in terms of the content and the way in which we shape our program, so that the young people who attend get the maximum possible out of this experience with us. Next slide, please. This is the timetable for the 3-day virtual workshop that we will be delivering in November. So let me walk you through how we're going to do this. Let's start on the left-hand side, and you'll see some timings. We're running this program in 2 different time zones, one in the morning and one in the afternoon. And the timings that you see here, 8 a.m. and 3 p.m. are UK time zones. So in November, when we're delivering this program, it will be GMT. And if you would like some advice as to which time zones will fit you best, please get in touch with us later. And we're going to provide you with an email contact at the end of this presentation where you can do that. So those are the timings. The other thing to be aware of is that we divide our coaching groups into 2 different age groups. So for the younger group, it's 11 to 14 years of age. And for the older age group, it's from 15 to 17. And those coaching groups, we try to keep them relatively small so that the young people get a really great experience and are able to interact with each other, have meaningful discussions. Moving over to then the first column, day 1 of the program, you'll notice that each of the days has a theme. So on day 1, we look at leadership, personal leadership, and then also we touch on themes around well-being. On day 2, we start to focus on challenges and identifying what the young people can get involved in, what they feel passionate about. And when we then move into the last day of the program, this is where we support them in figuring out what kind of social action project they might like to work on, how they can go about it. Let's move on to the next slide, please, Jacob. So the independent challenge, this is what they will go away and work on after the 3-day workshop. And we encourage each of the young people to pick something that they feel passionate about and that they can align with one of the 17 United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. And that period of action runs for 30 days, during which time we will provide support through our online chat facility, through email support. And this year, for the very first time, we have a bespoke online community, which we call Hive, where the young people that have been on the program can communicate and support each other in a safe environment. And just to clarify, teacher support is not required on the program or on the challenge. However, we do like if you could encourage the young people with their project, but you don't need to have any other input. Next slide, please. So an overview of how the challenge period works. Initially, the young people will think about an idea and explore what the need is within their local community, aligning them to one of the 17 goals. And then they will go out and try to make a difference in several different ways. And this could be completely individual. So it could be that they have identified a charity that they would like to support. They might get involved in a recycling or a food drive. They may publish posters that they put up to raise awareness. People have created websites, started a podcast. It could be any number of things in which the young people choose to make a difference. And once they have carried on with their project, I wanted to say complete, but it doesn't necessarily have to be completed in the 30 days. But once they have got partway through their idea, at the end of the 30 days, we invite them to upload some evidence of the project that they have begun. And that way we can tell whether or not they have actually, taken on board the challenge, so we can give them a certificate. But it's more about encouraging them to get involved. And at the end of that challenge period, as I mentioned, we all come together for a celebration graduation event, which will be online. And similar to the virtual workshop, we have 2 time zones, 8 a.m. and 3 p.m. And this is where we will then hand out certificates to each of the participants. So they will get a certificate for being on the course or the program and another one for completing the challenge. But let's hear from a young person who has actually been on this program and what their experience has been.
Let me just get the video up.
name is Rosa and I'm calling from Dubai, and my coach was Lena. And what I most enjoyed about the course was actually the meaning behind it, and the fact that so many different young people of so many different backgrounds could all come together and just put together their views on things and eventually have a big mix of swirling ideas that we could, I don't know, put in the cracks of the earth to act as cement. And that's just amazing. And I also like the fact that we can grow ourselves and learn new things and overcome challenges together. And after doing this course, I didn't really have an intention of just stopping there. So I just did my best, and with the inspiration that I had after this, I just managed to get a website going and even a blog. And I felt inspired to continue with these courses and maybe take lessons in debating and speaking, because now I know that your voice is like the most important weapon that you own. This course by itself is like actually something that can save the world, or at least save me from losing the inspiration that I could have had, that I have now. And yeah, I'm really glad that I had the opportunity to participate in this course and to come by these people.
Wow. So Rosa, who's an absolute superstar, she actually did what she said in this video. She carried on with her project well beyond the course in the 30 days. And she took part in our festival in June as well. So it's really a testament to the hard work of the students. If you would like to see what the other students had to say, you can watch this video. It's at the bottom of our program page. There is a link there, so you can hear also from Anjola, Federica, and Lucas about their experience. So now that you know exactly what we have prepared for your students, I would like to take you through some of the practical steps. So how can your school be involved? So basically, you have two choices here. You can either promote this opportunity at your school using our toolkit, and then the students book as individuals directly from our website. So they pay for their place and register, and the only thing you have to do is really just to promote it among your students. Or you can organize a group of at least 10 students. And for school groups, we provide a discounted price per student. So you can see the difference here at the bottom. And obviously, if you prepare the group, organize a group, then there's a few more steps for you to complete, which I will now take you through. So first, we like you to complete the school registration. So this is under the school inquiries part of our website. And if you press that orange button, it will take you to the school registration, which you can see on the right-hand side of the slide. And we ask you to complete that registration page. And the kind of key question we ask you here is how you would like to be involved in this program. And this will define how what communication you will receive from us. So if you organize a school, you will get a slightly different set of information. And if you want to promote the opportunity, we will basically just keep in touch and let you know how many students from your school registered, and also let you know on any deadlines that are upcoming about the program. We will also be able to then invite you to the graduation at the end of the program. The next step is to promote using our recruitment toolkit. So we have created a special submenu item on the recruitment toolkits. On the top of the slide, you can see where you can find that information. And we have created a number of documents, website announcements, parent letters, social media posts, basically everything that you need to promote it at your school. So we tried this to be as a minimum administrative burden for you as possible. Hence, we prepared those documents. And you can see at the bottom the example is a letter to parents, and we have highlighted the sections in the document which we would like you to edit with the name of your school and any of the contact details for the teacher who will be organizing the school group. We also recommend for school groups to give an internal deadline at the school for student registration so that you can, so we can get everyone registered in time for the beginning of the program. So once you had the chance to promote and recruit the students, we ask you to complete the next step, which is kind of confirming the numbers by completing the school booking form. On the image in the center of the slide, you can see the email that we send you after you register your school group. And that gives you a link to the booking form, which is pre-populated, again, saving those extra minutes. So those details are there. If you want to edit this, because maybe someone else in your school going to be dealing with the invoice, you can do that in that form. And you can see you're getting links to the registration page, which is the next step. So you can use the link in the email, but you can also find this information in our recruitment toolkits page. So we've added this button, link to student registration and parental consent. And that's what needs to be completed by every single student who is taking part in the program. So we ask for a parental consent on all our programs, and this is an essential form that needs to be completed. And in that form, the students can decide when they would like to take part in the program. So Jay mentioned that we have 2 time slots available, and this is the point where students select. In the past, we had instances where the whole school chosen 1 time slot, but we also had instances where a few of the students selected a different time slot because that worked better for them. And we, from our side, we are happy either way. So just have this conversation with your students maybe, but we are quite easy in that regard. And the final step, which again is available, the template is available on the recruitment toolkits page, which is a list of students. And this is just a simple Excel spreadsheet really, and that will help us to cross-reference any of the student registrations that are coming in so that we can keep you informed on the progress of the whole school group registration. And that, in our experience, will save a lot of time of kind of going back and forth and checking on the names of the students. So these are the 5 simple steps for you to complete to get the school registered and bring a school group. And as I mentioned earlier, if you just decide to promote it, it's even simpler than that. Online safety is something that we wanted to highlight. So we have now, on top of the 15 years of experience of running in-person programs and safeguarding programs, we now have also more than 2 years of running online programs for over 2,000 young people worldwide. And we created some robust policies created by Michelle Horn, who's our operations director and designated safeguarding officer. All the students are asked to sign up to the code of conduct for the program. We've mentioned the parental consent already. And all of the participants will receive a Staying Safe online guide, which is a great resource. Regardless of the program, it has some great links to educate young people and the parents on keeping safe online. All the policies are available on our website, and we can send them as well across in an email to you. Right, so this is pretty much everything about what we've prepared for you in terms of our presentation. So we would like to invite any questions. So you can either use the chat function or you can use the question and answer tool on Zoom. So just as you probably are now typing, some of the common questions that we get about the program. So one is, can students swap sessions? So what we had last year is, in some areas, for instance, the school is back on Sunday. So students asked if they could do the morning slots for the Monday, for the Friday and Saturday, and do the afternoon slot on the Sunday. So what we say, yes, if this is, your circumstance and that will enable you to do all the sessions, we can allow that when we hear from the student directly and their parent. But there is one thing to be aware of, is that if you are joining if you're swapping session on the last day, you will be working in a different coaching group. So that's just something to be mindful of, that you will have a new group to meet and to work with. And then another thing is, what happens with students who miss a session? So we look at this program as a whole experience, the course, the 30-day challenge. So if someone misses a session, it's not really a big problem. It will not affect their certificate. They will receive it. We just need to know in advance so we can inform our coaches. And the only thing to also bear in mind is that we will not be able to share any of the recordings from the sessions for safeguarding reasons. So we will be recording all of the sessions, but because these are going to be run in Zoom rooms with the images, the videos of all the students, we're not able to share them with the students. So that's just something to bear in mind. I'm just checking on the chat, just checking on the question and answers. I cannot see anything here. Jay, am I missing something?
No, but there's just a couple of things that I would like to reiterate in terms of support from our end. We also have an online chat facility as well. So that's open during business hours for us, but throughout the program, it will be open. So if anybody has a question, not only can you email us, you can also use our online chat facility, which you can find on the website. And then the other thing that I wanted to mention is, quite often the question that comes up is, well, how do I find inspiration for my social action project? So we do spend a lot of time throughout the 3-day weekend, particularly on day 3, to encourage the students in terms of coming up with an idea, but there's also a lot of resource or examples on our website. So they should have plenty of opportunity to find something that inspires them.
Absolutely. And this resource bank is being updated after each program. So it's really like a growing library of incredible projects and full of inspiration. Thank you, Jay, for adding this. Right. I think if there's no further questions, we would like to say a huge thank you for taking the time to be with us today. And we would like to share this opportunity, which is a Leading and Flourishing in Difficult Times course, which has been created by one of our founders, Katie Granville Chapman, the lady you can see on the right-hand side of this image, together with Emmy Bitston. They are both co-directors of the Wellington Leadership and Coaching Institute. And as part of the Oxford Character Project, they have created this incredible program, which is completely free for teachers to take part in. It's great professional development. You can pursue like a certification route, but if you just want to learn from the content, you can take the free course. So thank you so much for attending today. We are super excited to be welcoming your students on the program, and our partners from COBIS are equally excited. If you want to get in touch, here's our contact details. We are happy to answer any questions and also have a conversation, meet with you on a virtual call. So please stay in touch. And that is all from us. Thank you.
Thank you for joining us, and have a great day.
Excellent. Have a great day, and we will be closing the webinar room.